What is it? What did you have to say?
Well, you'll forgive me if I don't hang around to hear it. 'Cause I've heard enough. I'm going back to the station.
Look, Sam, you can't go. What if Eve has a way to resolve this?
You're going on a second honeymoon with David. What the hell do we have to resolve? It's obvious our marriage is over.
No, would you stop saying that?
What do you want me to say? You're going away with him to prove to yourself that you don't have a future with him, right?
No, Sam, you don't understand.
After
It's not-
20-some-odd years of us being married, why do you need proof, Grace? If you loved me, you'd have insisted David sign those damn annulment papers.
Sam, I do love you.
But you love David more. I'm out of here.
Sam!
Sam, please, wait. I think you need to hear what I have to say.
Eve, honey, what do you have to say that concerns Sam and Grace?
You really look upset. What's wrong, Eve? You're my best friend. You can tell me anything.
Sweetheart, what is it? What do you want to say?
Excuse me, I have to take this. It's Antonio. Sheridan's having a few problems with her pregnancy. Antonio, what's wrong?
It's Sheridan. We just finished Lamaze class and she got a little dizzy. I'm worried about her, Doc.
Antonio, can I please speak to Dr. Russell?
Hold on, she wants to talk to you.
Thank you. Dr. Russell, look, I just got a little dizzy. There's no reason to be alarmed.
Well, a little dizzy is cause for concern. I'm worried about the stress that you're under, Sheridan. Were you and Luis talking about the situation with Antonio?
Well, yes.
Sheridan, you have to be calm. You have to stay as stress-free as possible until the baby is born.
I'll try.
Put Luis on the phone.
All right. Luis, she'd like to speak to you.
Dr. Russell?
Luis, I know you can't talk freely, but I want to remind you that Sheridan is not supposed to have any stress. Her pregnancy is already precarious. She doesn't need any pressure. Okay, would you let me speak to Antonio now?
All right, I understand. I'll take care of it. Here's Antonio. Hello?
Antonio, I'm going to call in a prescription for Sheridan's blood pressure.
Okay, good.
And then I want you to take her out somewhere peaceful, maybe for a walk. Just keep her from any stress.
All right, I will.
Okay, just try and distract her. And if any more dizziness or any other problems come up, call me immediately.
Okay, thanks, Doc.
Is Sheridan okay?
She's having a little problem with her blood pressure, but she's fine. Antonio's just worried about her.
I remember when I was pregnant with Noah, he was our first, and Sam was so worried, so protective of me.
Sam, stop! Bring it up! Bring it up!
John, get out of this! You're gonna get hurt! Stop it! Stop!
I'm not gonna let this guy beat up on my father.
For the love of God, you two, stop fighting!
I can't believe you attacked my father, Chief Bennett. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, what's ask your father what's wrong? He's the cause of everything. Everything in this house started, all the trouble started when he showed up.
That's not true. If Mom had been happy, none of this would have happened.
John, please, don't get involved in this.
Yeah, John, don't get involved. I can handle myself.
I can't stand seeing Sam and Grace torn apart this way.
Neither can I, sweetheart. But, you know, it reminds me of your secret that you kept so many years ago about you having a miscarriage. But it brought us closer together.
I'm sorry that I didn't tell you sooner.
Sweetheart, it's okay. I mean, you couldn't relive the pain again. But it doesn't matter because I love you. I love you and our marriage so much.
Eve, if there's something you can say to help, please.
He said it would help explain some of what's going on.
Oh, well, I was just going to say that I thought maybe if everybody separated it, went to different rooms and cooled off, maybe we could discuss this again.
Look, there's nothing for Grace and I to discuss, okay? Nothing.
Sam, can't you at least try?
No. Forget it.
TC, talk.
I'll talk.
Grace, come into the kitchen, talk to me.
Thank you, Eve. So what's going on, honey?
What's this about you taking a trip with David? You haven't just given up on your marriage to Sam, have you?
No, no. You know, I thought it would be a good way to show David that we don't have a relationship.
But taking a romantic trip together.
David thinks that if we go to all the places that we were in love together as a couple, that it'll jog my memory, and that I'll remember being in love with him.
But you don't think so?
No. I think it'll prove to David that we don't have a relationship, and then, you know, he says he can sign the annulment papers in good conscience.
Yeah, well, it's tearing your husband apart.
Yeah, I know, and I just didn't mean to do this. I just, you know, I never thought that something would come back from my past to destroy my life. You know, I know how you must feel. Always living in fear that TC's gonna find out about your past with Julian. What?
Well, it's kind of confusing, and I don't know what to make of it, but something happened out on the wharf today. I kissed Julian.
Eve, why on earth did you kiss Julian?
Oh, I don't know. He was being protective of me, I guess.
Protective of what?
Liz was out there, and she was pushing me and just pressuring me, trying to get me to confess to TC that Julian and I had had a son together. And then I just started feeling so trapped that I admitted to TC that I had had a baby.
God, what did TC do?
At first, he just couldn't even comprehend it. And then, of course, he started to get furious. But then somehow, right before he lost it, he decided for himself that it was our baby. That I had miscarried our baby. And of course, I didn't tell him different, so now he still doesn't know that Julian and I had a son together, a son who could be out there somewhere.
Oh my God, Eve, your nerves just must be shot.
It was so horrible waiting for the other shoe to drop. And I can't come up with any reason why I kissed Julian.
But you said he was being protective of you, that you felt grateful.
Yes, he was being noble, and he was being very caring and kind.
Okay, Eve, you have always said that you hated Julian, that he was despicable, that you couldn't stand to touch him, and yet, I mean, you kissed him.
Well, yeah, well, I said I can't explain it, but well, ever since he's come back from the dead, when we all thought he was dead, he's just been different. He's just been more like Julian I knew when I first met him.
So maybe that's why you kissed him?
And because he's different.
Because he's more like the man you first knew, you know, and maybe you want to get part of your past back. Maybe you want Julian back.
You're wrong, Grace. I don't want Julian back in my life. I love my husband.
But Eve, you kissed Julian. And you know, ever since you told me about your past with him, there's just something that's been on my mind.
What?
Well, it's just that that person who you were was like completely alien to who you are now. I mean, you did wild, forbidden things, and then you just stopped. And you became this perfect person without any flaws or vices.
Grace, I'm hardly perfect. I have plenty of flaws.
Okay, but you know, you turned your back on everything from your past. Your family, your singing, Julian.
Oh, I just grew up. I just wanted to be a respectable member of society.
I think it's more than that. I think you were looking to do penance, to find absolution.
Well, I did need to do penance.
It's just, it's clear to me that your singing meant so much to you, and you just gave it up without a look back.
It has very many bad memories attached to it.
You know, Eve, I've seen your face sometimes when you're listening to music, and it's clear that it affects you. And I think that you miss singing.
I can admit that. I miss it. I miss singing. When I went to get Whitney off the stage the other night, there was a tiny part of me that was jealous. I wished it was me up on the stage.
I can understand that. I mean, you miss your past. You miss things from your past. Maybe you miss Julian.
No, Grace, I don't miss Julian. I don't miss any part of my past with Julian.
Eve.
Just don't even go there, Grace. Okay? I do not want any part of Julian.
I'm just sorry that I pushed you so hard, Eve.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, too. I'm just being defensive. It's just, I think that it's important for you to know how much I love my husband. And I don't want anyone else, especially not Julian.
Yeah, it just doesn't explain why I kissed Julian.
I told you why I kissed Julian, because he was being noble and kind, and because he was like the Julian that I used to know when I first met him.
Right, from your past, and it's all part of your past. You know, your past has a hold of you. Julian has a hold of you.
Grace, just stop. Okay, instead of talking about my past, why don't we talk about your past now? Because you keep saying I want Julian, but I'm not the woman who's going on a second honeymoon with a man from my past.
I'm not going on a second honeymoon, Eve.
And you can save those stories about the annulment. The fact is, the bottom line is that you want to be with another man. Maybe you want to just try something different from Sam.
Oh.
But you keep pushing this Julian thing on me because you are trying to justify what it is you want to do with David.